my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're doing Cluedo Chooses my February TBR. So excited for February. So February is my birthday month and I'm so excited for what's happening. My sister has kindly gifted me tickets for her and my mum and I to go see Moulin Rouge, and that was like my top tier favorite movie of all time for I don't know how long. I'm dying. So I will be traveling a little bit, only for a weekend, but yes, so I'm so excited for February, and there are a few books that I definitely want to get onto this TBR, so I'm super excited to see how that all shapes up. For those that are new here, I realized I never actually gave an introduction after the first time. I use Cluedo to pick my TBR, and essentially I roll 5 times, and depending on where I end up is what happens. So if I manage to make it in a room, I will pull 2 prompts and need to read 2 books to be able to reveal cards, so then I can eventually be able to solve the murder and who, where, and what was used, and be able to get to a reward. I feel like we're probably getting a little bit closer to the end, I'm not sure. So I'm seriously thinking hard on what I want to do for when we complete the board and figure out what happened. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. The way that I film these videos are a little bit haphazard, so let's pick out the big book first and then we'll dive into the rolls. Alright, so I need to pick the big book that we're going to attempt to. Last month I chose to read 15 Animals instead of doing a big book. So back at it, and I also have my wonderful assistant here to pick one out for me as well, so I have the choice. Alright.
Who's holding it?
I wasn't. I got Goliath by someone, which would be Leviathan.
And I got Physic.
Hey!
Which is from the Septimus.
Yes, the Septimus Heap. So
The
I'll be
Septimus Heap
reading the
series.
next one if it's not. I can't remember what number.
I can't remember which one you're up
But
to.
I'm going to read that one because I don't want to read this.
Okay.
Yay! That's
There you
exciting. Thank you. Yay! So for my big book, I got Flight by Angie Sage. So I'm going to hopefully try and fit this in somewhere. So let's get into the rolls. Hello! So before we dive into the rolls for finding out February's TBR, we need to reveal the cards that I have acquired through the January TBR. So for the dining room, we had Sparkly / Gold or Silver, and for that I needed to read Animorphs Book 1, The Invasion by K.A. Applegate, and I did read that. And we also had Recommended Read, which I ended up going with Asking for It by Louise O'Neill, which was a recommended read from Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots, and I have read that. So I get to see that this is Colonel Mustard and the Rope. And unfortunately, neither of those was the dining room, the candlestick, or Mrs. White, so I don't get any of my little rewards for that. And then to the conservatory, for that I had Partner Pick, and for that Ash picked The Binding by Bridget Collins, and I have read this. And then the other prompt was book hauled years previously, and for that I needed to read The Girl from Everywhere, which I have done. So I get to see both of these. And so for the conservatory we have Mrs. Peacock and the Revolver. So again, not Mr. Green, the Lead Pipe, or the conservatory, so I don't get any extra bonuses when coming to buying books, but that is a-okay. So we've got 3 people left, which is exciting, 4 weapons, and quite a few rooms. But these now get to be put off to the side along with my other little stack. And the prompts from December have gone back into my little bag of prompts, but these will stay out until when doing March's round. We left off here. I made a mistake in where I was trying to get to, so I have a feeling, because I'm going to try and get to the kitchen, that regardless of what I roll, it's going to be one challenge, and then we'll see where the game takes us. So roll number 1 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will be doing a challenge prompt. So roll number 1 was a challenge square, as I didn't make it into the room. So let's have a look and see what I'm going to be reading. So we've blacked out the ones that we've already got. So let's give it a go. Okay, so for this one I got Belle's Bookland, so I'm probably going to go and watch their January one again. I think at the time I'm filming this they wouldn't have had their February one up, so I'm gonna go check their January and see what I want to be doing for there. Oh yay! So I went back and had a look at her January TBR, and she did have the kiss question on it. Then I remembered seeing her in one of my discords, and I thought it might be for the read along that is starting in February, and I was correct. So I messaged her being like, hi, hasn't made it onto your TBR for this particular book, and she said she'd let me know she hadn't quite filmed it. Got the news this morning that she has managed to get it on her TBR, and that is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, the first in the Mortal Instruments series. So we are reading this as part of the Bookstar Reads. I was in the comments in their lives for the Lunar Along, but since they wanted to continue on with such a lovely group, they've decided to do 2 series. The Mortal Instruments starting in February and working on alternate months until we finish the other trilogy that will be starting in March. So it's complicated, but when you have the visual, it all makes sense. Some people were saying that they got burnt out reading the Lunar Chronicles back to back to back to back to back. So this is trying to split it up and still get through some more series. So we did a vote and the Mortal Instruments won, and so this is the one that we're going to be starting in February. I'm so excited. I've wanted to read this series for the longest time. This will be going towards my Reading My Rainbow, which is super exciting. I can't wait to be reading with the Bookstar Reads group again. And they have asked me to be a co-host for this year, and I'm super excited to be involved. I'm not sure, we were looking at doing 11th or 12th of February as their sprints, so we do mid-month sprints and then the wrap up at beginning of the next month. And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. And then realized that that's my birthday weekend and I'm actually going to be in Melbourne watching Moulin Rouge. So I might be in the comments for that, but then from there on out will be sweet, and I will make sure not to forget my own birthday so I can actually participate in the live. So very excited to get to this, so I cannot wait. On to roll number 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that is so irritating. No, I'm gonna go 1, 2, and that's it. So I need to pull 2 prompts. With the prompts, I do have Libby in here, but I've recently gotten Hoopla. So if Libby comes out, I will make that either Libby or Hoopla. The first prompt is fantasy, and the second prompt is TBR Game. Oh my god! Awesome. So I will need to pick someone's TBR Game to replicate and decide the book that way. I was not prepared for that. I can also go through and look at someone's TBR Game and steal a book from there or match the prompt that they have pulled as well. So for roll number 2, I ended up in the kitchen, and the first prompt that I pulled was fantasy. So for this, I'm going to be reading Men at Arms by Terry Pratchett, which is the second in the City Watch series. In all technicality, I should have probably made an announcement, but then my life slump happened. I have a Discord for the Terrying Through Time, which is essentially meant to be a Terry Pratchett read along. However, I then fell off the bandwagon because life happened. I have yet to read Guards, but I am filming this on the 23rd, so I should be able to squeeze it in. I've read all my other reads aside from Ariadne, so I just need to get to those 2, which I definitely think I can do. I haven't finished the Animorphs either, but priorities. Second one, we'll see. I don't even know if I'm gonna like the first one, but it's on the TBR, and I am very curious to see how I get along with Terry Pratchett. I think it's going to be alright. If you would like to join the Terrying Through Time, I apologize that it is not announced and it's not bigger and wider. We have 2 sides to the Discord. The first is reading in publication order, so April and Kara started with The Colour of Magic, and then you have my side, which is reading through the series as I want to. So the first one I decided to start with was The City Watch. I know that Mel from A Book Themed Named Mel will be joining around, and we'll hopefully have a discussion for at least Men at Arms. Jacqueline and I are, I think Jacqueline's still intending on reading Guards eventually. I'm not sure where she's sitting in all of this, but it was her wanting to buddy read Terry Pratchett with me that created this concept, and then life happened, and yeah, it's a big commitment, so that's why I just wanted to do the first City Watch series and see how we go. If you'd like to join, I'll leave the Discord linked below. There's really bare bones to it at the moment. I haven't had a chance to sort of figure everything out, just life, but it's there. And if you want to just throw your thoughts in, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to start and then just use the rooms and add to it, and then I can go back and comment on it and things like that, then feel free. But yeah, I'll leave it linked below as well. And so for the second prompt that I pulled from the kitchen was TBR Game. So I decided to FaceTime with Cara, and she does Bookopoly Deal, which is drawing out cards that she's allocated prompts to. The first one she pulled was a wild card, which I was like, nah, that's too easy because it's essentially a free pick. Let's narrow it down a little bit more. And then she got a wild orange and purple, which for her is a YA or adult speculative fiction. With that, I thought she meant like magical realism, that sort of area, but apparently speculatism just includes any speculative fiction. So sci-fi, fantasy, anything with like those elements to it, any sort of magical can go. It's a very big overarching genre style. So I decided to go with Flight by Angie Sage and get my big book in here. So I'm super excited to get to this and continue on with the series. I loved magic when I read it last year, so very happy to be making some progress in that series rather than starting them. Very happy to continue on with this and see how we go. On to roll number 3. 3. 1. So I need another 2 prompts for this. So light cover and shit. All right. I'll need to figure out how I'm actually working that one. So the prompt was book with chicken nuggies. We put this in as a joke because April loves chicken nuggets, and I will figure out how I'm making that happen. So for roll number 3, I landed in the study, and the first prompt that I pulled was light cover. My brain went interesting places. I have my friends picked choices, 3 of which have white covers, but then I was looking at my TBR knockout and it's like a collection of short stories. So I'm going with Grunt by Mary Roach. This is a collection of essays which is the curious science of humans at war, and I genuinely have no idea what this is going to involve, but they're relatively short essays on a variety of different subjects based around chemical warfare, who knows what else, and so it's looking at military life and things relating to that. So I figured that would be able to count. It's also relatively short considering, which is great, and I said to myself that I was not allowed to buy either of the 2 Mary Roaches that I want to get until I finish this, because I know that I'll just put this one off. I read Monk, The Science of Sex, which I adored, so I'm very curious to get to this to be able to get to the other 2 as well. War is just not my strong point, but I know Mary Roach's humorous style will definitely make it more palatable, and then I can get either stiff or fuzz, which I'm so excited for. So that's what I've gone with for light cover. And then the other prompt that I pulled was book with chicken nuggies. So when April, Cara and I all became good close friends, we ended up having an obsession with chicken nuggies and saying, instead of saying goodnight, we'd say good nuggets and things like that. So I put this in for Twister as shits and gigs, and it sort of just means whatever. If I can make it relate to Cara and April, it counts. If I pick a book while eating chicken nuggies, or I want to read a book while eating chicken nuggies, or even if Ash is going to eat the chicken nuggies because I'm not in the mood for it, totally count. So it's essentially like a free card. I was messaging Cara going, I don't know what to pick, and I know these are what that I have on my TBR, and we were tossing up whether I should do Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan, which is the going to be the Library of the Unread book for February-March, or Electric Idol by Katie Robert, which is the second in the Dark Olympus series, and Cara said that she's Cara said that she's reading it in February, so I jumped on the bandwagon and oh, I'm so excited to get to it! Yeah! This is an Eros and Psyche companion mafia styled romance, dark, smutty. I'm here for it. I'm excited. Cannot wait. Love Katie Roberts. Thank you, Cara, for buddy reading this with me so that I can get to it ASAP, because holy lordy, I am so excited. On to roll number 4. 2, 1, 2, so we have a challenge. Alrighty, and for spin number 4, we also got another challenge, so let's see what we've got this time. So for this one, we got Death Roll. So I'm gonna curate a selection of books and use the Death Roll generator to figure out what book I'm gonna read. I ended up doing this when I was in my reading slump last month, and I used it to select the order of books that I was gonna read them in. So that actually worked really well. But now we get to actually pick a book to go on my TBR. Oh, that's awesome. I'm really happy. So Ash introduced me to that concept. So yeah, I'm very excited to put that in action. Oh, that's so fun. Oh, I love this. Hello. So welcome to my death rolling. So this concept is going and using a random number generator, going from 1 to 1,000 all the way down to 1, and eliminating a book at each time. This might be a kind of long process. I have decided to use 6 books that I keep putting off, and I'm sort of excited for this one, but not overly excited for. And then I have a pile of 6 that I am super excited because I just want it done, or for one reason or another. So we're going to go through and nut down to the book from here that I'm going to battle against the book that I'm most excited for. So there will be 3 full rounds of generation. The thing is, I'm doing an eliminative process, so I think Ash described it as a battle royale. So every time I get rid of a book, we then start the process again. So it might be quite a long segment to figure out what we're doing, because when I figured out that I wanted to do big books that were the continuations of series, I then was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do 3 of ones that I'm excited for and 3 that I'm not excited for, and then I found 6 of each. And because I can't make a decision, this is what we've ended up with. I've got my little ducky to locate which book we're going with first, working from left to right. I got my random generator here, and let's see. So the first one was 1 to 1,000, so 1 to 883.
275. 202, 128, 28, 17, 12, 5, 2, 2 again, 2 again, 2 again, 2 again, 1.
So I will not be reading Eldest. That was insane. All right, so then we start the process again. So 1 to 1,000.
978, 36, 24, 11, 3, 1. So Beautiful Darkness will not be in the battle. See, sometimes they go for ages and then other times it's super quick. Alright, so back to 1 to 1,000. 86! But we could still have like 86 rolls. Or not. 10, 5, 2, 1. So Never Fade will not be included. That was insane! Alright, back to 1 to 1,000. 990, 912, 283, 166, 124, 32, 23, 14, 4, 4, 2, 1. 50 Shades Freed is not going to be on the battle. Oh dear sweet lord. Alright, last round for the ones that I am not as excited for. 452, 141, 90, 63, 56, 21, 15, 8, 7, 6, 1.
All right, Inkspell is the winner for the ones that I'm least excited to read. So I'll set up the ones that I am excited for and see how we go, and then we'll battle out my least excited and most excited. Alrighty, so once again, I've got all my books laid out. I just want to explain Dance of Dragons. I'm not excited to read this. I am excited to fucking finish off this series finally. It's been sitting there for so long and I need to convince myself to do it. So that's why it's in the I actually do want to fucking read it pile rather than in my not excited to. This one, I want this series done. So I would be happy to read it. I just can't seem to force myself any other way. And also Hannibal, I'm super excited to get to that. I know that I'm chicken shit, but I actually feel like I'm gonna really enjoy that. So I don't mind. I want to read it. It's not a negative one, whereas the other ones just don't float my boat at the moment. Starting once again with 1 to 1,000, let's go.
130, 93, 93, 65, 37, 11, 4. I don't want any of these to go. 1. Okay, Vengeful is not going to be red. That's not too bad, that's not too bad. 1 to 1,000, 54, 32, 14, 9, 8, 2, 1. Oh no! Okay. Bloody Roach is no longer in the running. Starting once again with 1 to 1,000, 727, 36, fucking hell, 14, 4, 1. The Dance of Dragons will not be red this month. I am super excited for the ones that I have here, but also just like, fuck my life. And going back to 1 to 1,000, 35, Radio, 4, good to know. 4 again, 3, 1. Ship of Destiny will not be red next month. So it's between Kingdom of Copper and Hannibal. This is not how I saw this going. I'm not mad. We still have to do the final battle between Inkspell as well, so who knows what I'm going to fucking read. I don't know. Back to 1 to 1,000, 422, 12. This generator's like, bitch, you need to stop. 4, 2, alrighty. Oh my god. Kingdom of Copper is no longer in the running. So, the two books that are battling it out are Hannibal and Inkspell. This is genuinely not how I saw this going. Not mad about it, just very surprised.
So the final showdown between Inkspell and Hannibal.
We've got our numbers back, so 1 to 1,000, 255, 32, 28, 21, 18, 16, 8.
1. Alright, cool. I am reading Inkspell. This is not one that I was anticipating on getting to and or eagerly anticipating reading, but I'm also not mad about it. So this is what I will be, to be fair, this is also optional, but I will try to make progress in it because I need to finish this. So that did not go the way that I thought it was. Welcome to death rolling. As you would have seen, I did a very convoluted death roll style to pick between 12 different options. The winner was Inkspell by Cornelia Funk. I'm excited to read this, sort of. It definitely was one of those that I was happy to have on my apprehensive without being sad about it being picked. Whereas 50 Shades Freed, I might have actually cried. Whereas with this, I get very intimidated. I know that I'm gonna fly through it. I know that I'm gonna love it. I also think it might be, I think they're classified as middle grade, which my middle grade stacks are going to be fucked for the end of the year. I am not mad that this got chosen, considering it was up against Hannibal. Either choice I would have been totally fine with. So yeah, it's on the TBR. It technically is an optional read, same as City of Bones, although that is for a book club, so I still will be reading that. I would love to get to this and continue on. It's been eyeing me off and I just keep putting it off. So it's here, let's do it. On to roll number 5. 4, 1, 2. So, 2 more prompts. Friend pick. Oh shit, that's what I was gonna do. Chicken nuggies. Rightio. Oh, actually, I know what I'll do for that. And this has got some really good ones this time. Like, there's still a bit of a challenge. Yeah. And look, I really wish I was filming my reaction right now. You can't see my face. Oh my god, I'm devastated.
What did you get?
Lowest rated.
Oh no.
So I got lowest rated. It's fine. I'm not crying. So that was roll number 5. Tune in next month to see me cry. So for roll number 5, we landed in the hall, which I think it will be very possible to be able to finish off the rest of the board next month, provided that the dice don't do a dodgy and give me like ones. It could be next month that we end up getting the final lot of cards, so I will need ideas for what is going to happen once we complete the board, because I should be looking at April's round having finished it. If March is so kind to me, we shall see. If I don't read the books that are on this TBR, I will have to go back to the rooms and get the card again, and it can extend out that way, but I really like finishing my TBR, so I try not let that happen. But in the hall, we needed to pull 2 prompts, the first being friend pick. I was going to record my FaceTime with Jacqueline from Jaxie Jax Reads on Instagram. However, I couldn't get the sound to happen. So, unfortunately, she gave me 3 options. I've now forgotten what the middle option was. But the 2 that I remember her distinctly being like, yeah, was Kingdom of Copper or The Humans by Matt Haig. So we've ended up going with The Humans, and she would like to buddy read this with me, so that's why it's on here. It also does go towards my rainbow shelf, which is exciting for that challenge. So I'm very happy with this selection. It's nice and short, which was, I think, a deciding factor as well, aside from her wanting to buddy read it, because Kingdom of Copper is a chunky boy. I'm happy to read it, but in the end she went with this. I was just sitting there being like, this is your decision. I'm not swaying either way, knowing full well that I had Flight and Ink Spell already on the TBR. So if she hadn't picked it, it would have been picked. Ink Spell might not have been read, but since we're going with this and doing a buddy read, I'm super excited to get to it. And then finally, the last prompt I pulled was lowest rated, and you might have heard me crying in the background because I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is mean. So I'm putting up a screen recording of my want to read on Goodreads. Now this is not every book that is in my collection currently. I wouldn't have a clue what's up to date or not. Here we go. Average rating. And this is the lowest. And so we've got The Divines by Ellie Eaton, which I do not own. So nope. Big Women by Faye Weldon. I've literally just unhauled this. The Sisters Grimm by Mina Van Prague, I don't actually own anymore. I had an ARC copy but let it lapse, so now I can't get access to it. The Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer and The Hummingbird Salamander, neither of which I own. I Kissed Alice by Anna Birch, which I don't own. And The Librarian by Sally Vickers, which I do. So this is the one that we're going with. I know it's not the lowest, but low enough, and it's the only one that I own. I really hope I like this. I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm not going to. In terms of prompts, this is one that is going towards the Advent challenge, as I didn't put any of the actual books on here, as it has food or beverage on the cover. I'm really excited about this month's TBR. I think I'm hitting off quite a few of the goals. I'm glad that there are some big books on here because I didn't read any last month, as well as more continuations to series. I know that I am starting one. I'm only starting one with City of Bones, and I'm continuing on with 1, 2, 3, 4. So very happy with that. So this is my TBR plus Men at Arms for the month of February, and it looks like a very good birthday stack. Hello, editing me here. So looks like a nice birthday stack. Bitch, you forgot about at least 10 books. One of my goals, since I haven't completed the Animorphs series, is to read 5 per month for the next little while, so I can finish it this year. So I have those. I also have 4 arcs that I forgot I need to read in February by the time, so they are ready to go for their March releases. So the 4 arcs are Chef Kiss by Jarrett Melendez, Danica Brine, Hank Jones, and Hassan Otsman-Yale. Kelsey Murphy and The Academy for the Unbreakable Arts by Erica Lewis, The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake, We Were Kings by Court Stevens. Now, stupid me forgot about We Were Kings, and so I've picked another book for the Buzzwordathon because possessive pronouns, identifiers. I'm now really excited to read this book, and I don't actually want to push it off. So that's Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. I have the audiobook for it, so I'm going to prioritize We Were Kings, and if I don't end up getting to it, or I just decide nah, I'll read this instead, and or hopefully get to the next one. For TBR Knockout, I am supposed to be reading a physical book off my shelves that is under 250 pages. However, I don't have anything I currently want to read to be able to do this, so I'm going to count either Chef's Kiss or one of the Animorphs series, because it's still on my TBR, it's on my NetGalley TBR, and my series continuation TBR, so I think it counts. It's not, the intention is meant to be your physical knockout, but we got to stretch it somewhere, so that's where this stretch is coming in. I also desperately want to read House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, which is the second in the Crescent City series, and Ash has pre-ordered it for me, so it should be arriving. I don't know when, and I don't know how long it is. I'm assuming over 500 pages, so I'm going to cry because collectively, I think I have 4 books over 500 pages on this TBR alone. So I'm making up for not reading any last month. And then I have a buddy read with The Beautiful Jessie from The Bookish Mum with A Reaper at the Gates by Sabatahir. Super excited to continue on with this. Forgot that I had said let's do it in February. Thought it was March. Wrote it in my diary wrong. saw her video and went, oh fuck. So this is going to happen in February. I am excited. This is definitely going to happen, even though it's not on my TBR. I might have to do some switching, but everything else I need to read is also essentials, so I'm fun. Yeah, I'm really excited to have this buddy read with Jessie. I'm just so mad at myself for writing it in March. So this is definitely on the TBR. I am genuinely so excited to continue on with this series though. I think that's everything. I hope that's everything. I'm gonna go cry into my tea. I figured out that just my Cluedo picks are 3,382 pages, which is 120 pages per day, not including the extra things. I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. So if you could send prayers in the comments below, I would highly, highly appreciate that. Let me know in the comments, what are you planning on reading for February? Did you want to join the Tarrying Through Time? I might make an actual announcement and just sort of push it back a month. And if you would like to join the Library of the Unread, we will be reading Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Celine Tan over the February and March period. So linked below as well. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you on my next video. Bye!